Hi, this is Simon Candy from Acoustic Guitar Lessons Online.net, and in today's lesson you learn the best way, the best approach to learning chords on guitar. If you learn chord shapes but you don't really have much clue as to how they're constructed, how they work, how to use them in various contexts, how they relate to each other, all these things, then you're not really learning chords in an effective way. You might memorize a whole lot of shapes, but you're not going to have much clue as to how they relate to each other on the fretboard, and most importantly, how to use them in your playing. In this lesson, I sit down with guitar playing breakthrough specialist Tom Hess to discuss and demonstrate how best to learn chords on guitar. Now, the key here is to learn how the chords are constructed, and in turn, to be able to then create your own chords on guitar by altering existing shapes. Now, this is super simple to do and requires almost no theory knowledge whatsoever. You're going to learn all about chord construction and how this will lead to chord mastery on guitar. You'll learn how to build a number of chord shapes, including dominant seventh, major seventh, and add 9 chords from existing shapes you already know, and also the importance of note function over note name and how this will make building chords, constructing chords, so much easier for you to do on the guitar, plus a whole lot more. So let's get to it. How about chords? What would you have to offer in terms of visualizing and accessing chords on the fretboard?
Okay, great question. So here again, it depends partly on what sort of chords we're talking about and how deep into chords, even into simple chords, you want to go. If you know a basic bar chord, okay, like this, most people who can play that chord know or have been told that this is a major bar chord. So right now my finger's on A. So since this chord is major and I'm starting on A, this is an A major chord. Okay. I think most people probably know that. But what many people may not know is within this chord, within this fingering, where are the various notes? What are they? What are the letter names, or what are the functions of the notes in this chord? Most people just know that this whole thing is major and it starts on A, so it's A major, and that's all they know. If you said which one of these notes is the third, sometimes people don't know that question. Well, it's right here. This middle finger is playing the third of the chord. So we've got the root, we've got the fifth, we've got another root, we've got the third, the fifth again, and a root again. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. So now if you know that this is major in general, and you know which one of these is the third, now you can do all kinds of things with this chord. You now know that this chord is minor. Now some people already know that this is a minor chord because they were told that this fingering, this shape is minor, but they might not understand why is this minor and why is this major. Instead, they know, well, for a minor chord, I take this finger off. For a major chord, I put the finger on. Okay. Well, that's because this note is the third. And if you take it off, that note is flatted. That makes it a minor third. The roots and the fifths stay the same. And that's the difference between major and minor. Let's say we wanted to take this chord here, the top of an A chord, and we wanted to make this a major seventh chord. Well, what if you didn't know how to play a major seventh chord? If you didn't know that, you could still figure it out knowing a little tiny bit about music theory, a very little bit. Okay. And it's not hard. It's not scary at all. Okay. So we have this chord. This is A still. I'm playing the top part of this bar chord. Okay. So this is a root. This is the root of the chord. This is the third. This is the fifth. And that's the root again. So if we wanted to transform this chord from a major triad into a major seventh chord, we need to take one of the roots, not both, can't do both, okay? Because then you're changing into a completely different kind of chord. You can take one of the roots, since we have two, and you can lower that note by 1 fret. So we've got a root here, we have a root here. So let's keep the bottom one, and let's move this down 1 fret. So we'll have to use a different fingering. Now we have an A major 7th chord. And that just sounds great. This note, that's the 7th, the major 7th. So if you didn't know that before, if you didn't know that this fingering is a major 7th fingering, okay, if you didn't know that chord, you can just create it by taking one of the roots and putting it down 1 fret. Now you have an A major 7th chord. If you wanted to then find an A7, an A dominant 7, then this 7th note has to go down 1 more fret. Has to go down there. So that's A7 or A dominant 7, which is not the same as an A major 7. So here's A. Here's A major 7. Here's A dominant 7. This is a little bit different than the approach that most people take. The approach that most people take to learning chords is they learn where the shape is, how to put their fingers, like this bar chord, and maybe they look it up on the internet or they watch a YouTube video, or hopefully they're taking guitar lessons from somebody and somebody good, and that teacher tells them, hey, put your fingers like this, that's a major chord. Anywhere you put it, you're playing a major chord. Start on F, you're playing F major. Start on G, you're playing G major. Start on C, you're playing C major. Now, if the guitar teacher, or you find it on the internet, shows you, let's say, a dominant 7th chord or an add 9th chord, most people just learn the shape. Oh, I put my fingers here, and now I'm playing, apparently, an add 9 chord. But they don't understand why. Where did this come from? Who figured this out? How? Okay, I put my fingers here, and you tell me that it's called an A add 9 chord, but I don't know why it's called an A add 9 chord. I just know where to put my fingers. And if I put my fingers there, I was told by the internet gods or my guitar teacher or a book or whatever that this is an add 9 chord, but I have no idea why. All I know is where to put my fingers. It's better to know where to put your fingers and be able to play that chord than not know at all. But it's even better if you understand why or what makes this fingering an A add 9 chord instead of just, I just put my fingers here and it sounds nice and that's all I know. Okay, so let's figure this out real quick. How would you figure this out? We got our major chord, our triad. Okay, playing the top 4 strings of this bar chord that everybody knows. Okay, and now I'm going to take one, not both, one of the root notes. One of the root notes, not all the root notes. Okay, otherwise you're changing the chord into something totally different. Okay, take one of the root notes, one of the A's in this case. Let's take the high one. It'll probably sound better that way. And let's play the 9th. Well, first thing we have to know is what the heck is a 9th? Well, 9 and 2 are the same note. When I say 9 and 2, what am I talking about? I'm saying that when you take this scale, the major scale that we talked about earlier, okay, and you start it on A, because that's the chord we're playing. So you start on an A, so A major scale. Okay, and if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, this note, it happens to be the B note, okay, which is the same as the second note. That's also B, 1 octave lower. So 9 and 2 are the same letter name. There is a technical difference between the second and the 9th, but we don't need to get into that for our discussion today. Just know that 2 and 9 are the same letter, okay? No matter what the chord is or what key you're in. That's always going to be that way. We've got our A chord. And we need to add a 2, the second note of the major scale, or A major scale, since we're in A. The second note of an A major scale is right there, 1, 2. That's B. So somehow we need to get a B note added to the A chord. Okay. Well, here's a root. This is A. So B is right here, 2 frets higher. Now, even if you didn't know that, if you did not know that this is A, and you're thinking, wait a minute, I don't know that that's A. I don't know where B is. No problem. You actually don't need to know that information in order to find the right note. All you need to know is that this is the root, and so is this, of a major chord. In this case, we're playing A, but we can move down to G. We can do it on G or C or anything else. This is the root. This is the root. How far away is the second note from the root? It's 2 frets higher. So if this is our root, that means we need to play a note 2 frets higher. So now we have our chord. 2 frets higher than the root is this. Now we're playing an A major, add 9. We're adding the 9th to the major chord. That's called an add 9 chord. So we just figured out how to play an add 9 chord. We know our triad is this. We figured out earlier that major 7th is this. Dominant 7th is this. Okay. And again, even if you don't know the letter names, you can still figure out how to play an add 9 chord, a triad, a major 7th chord, and a dominant 7th chord. Just by knowing where the root is, going down 1 fret, that's the major 7th. Go down 2 frets, that's the minor 7th or the dominant 7th. Go up 2 frets, and that's the 9th. Okay? You can do that with any chord, anywhere, major chords or minor chords. Let's go back to our bar chord. Let's put it on C. This is C right here, fret number 8. I'm playing a bar chord that you probably already know. Everybody here probably knows that chord. Okay. Now I'm going to take one of the roots, not all of them, one. Okay. In this case, we have 3 roots. We have one here, we have one there, and we have one here on the high E string. We're going to take one of those. Let's choose this one this time, and let's substitute that note for the 9th. Let's find the 9th. Okay. So everybody, this is a root. Where is the 9th? If you got your guitar in front of you, where is the 9th? You go up 2 notes, 2 frets. Okay. So you should be, take your pinky finger, put it 2 frets higher, leave everything else where it is. Listen to that awesome sound. That is a C add 9 chord. It's an add 9. We're adding the 9th to the major chord. Totally beautiful sounding chord. It's absolutely beautiful. What if you wanted to play a C minor add 9 chord? That will sound very dark, very dark. Okay, so all you little heavy metal heads out there, very dark. Okay, well, we have here's our major chord. Remember, major chord, everybody knows. You take that off, that's the 3rd. Now we have a minor 3rd. So we have a minor triad right now. It's a minor triad. We're playing the root, the flatted 3rd, and the 5th. We've got now a minor triad. We're playing C minor. Now we're going to take one of the roots and we're going to add the 9th to it. And that will give us a minor add 9 chord. So let's do the same thing we did with the major chord. Let's take this note. Your pinky is playing the root. There's a root here. There's a root right there. And there's a root right here on the bar on the high E string. Take this one, put it 2 frets higher. So from fret 10 it's playing right now, it's going to go to fret 12. And listen to this. That's dark. That's one way you can play a minor add 9 chord. So let's get back to answering Simon's question. He asked, How would you visualize where chords are on the guitar? Well, here's a good thing you can do. You can take a chord you already know, chord you know very well. Example, like a bar chord. And you could just ask yourself, okay, if I wanted to transform this chord into an add 9 chord or a 7th chord or a major 7th chord or a minor 7th chord, I just am going to make the little adjustment to do that. So far, we've only talked about taking one of the roots and moving the note either up to the 9th or down to the 7th or down 2 notes to the minor 7th or dominant 7th. But you can move other notes. You could take the 5th, okay, of this chord. Let's go back to C minor. Here's a 5th right here. We have 2 5ths. We have the one your ring finger is playing, and then we have the one that your first finger is playing in the bar on string 2. Those 2 notes are the 5th of this chord. Well, what if we took one of those 5ths and we went up by 1 fret? Then we would have another really cool dark chord where we're adding the flatted 6th note of a minor scale. So we're going to add A flat, the flatted 6th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're going to add the 6th of the minor scale to that chord. We can do it here. It's a minor chord with an added flat 6. Or we could try the higher one. Here's the other 5th. We can go up to there, leave everything else the same. So just adding this finger to string number 2. It's playing A flat, flat 6. So I'm adding the flat 6th. And now I'm taking this finger away and going back to the 5th. Adding it, flat 6. Taking it away, now I got the 5th. Same thing here. There's the flat 6. And now I take it away back to the 5th. So you could go get a book and learn all the major 7th chord fingerings that exist. You could do that. And you're not wrong by doing that. But you could just take something you already know and say, what happens if I take this one note and I bring it down a fret or 2 frets or up a fret or 2 frets? What if I do that with 2 different notes? Now you start getting into bigger chords, 6/9 chords, full 9th chords, whatever. Okay. So I think that what I'm talking about now is a little bit better of a way to visualize chords because it's more, you see more. It's not just monkey see, monkey do. Here's an example of monkey see, monkey do. There's the fingering for a F major 7 sharp 11 chord. I guess I put my fingers here and what do you know? I just played F major 7 sharp 11. But we have no idea what it is, how it is, why it is, how we got there, what else we could do with it. But if you take a major bar chord, that's an F major 7 sharp 11 chord. Okay. It's better to know why, because if you know why in this case, you can create that sound anywhere, anytime you want to. That's a lot better than just knowing where to put your fingers.
If you like this video, then you'll love this free ebook I've created for you in my Jazz Concepts for Acoustic Guitar series, simply titled Block Chords. In this ebook, you learn the 3 main block chord types for your guitar playing and how to create great music with them. I also show you how to best visualize these shapes on your guitar so you never forget them. It's as easy as changing one single note in each block chord shape. You also learn a system for easily relating the block chord shapes to each other all over the fretboard so you can play any chord you like in any position with ease. So click the link below in the description of this video and download your free copy of the ebook audio Jazz Concepts for Acoustic Guitar Block Chords. Let me know in the comments below the video what acoustic guitar topics or any guitar topic you'd like to see covered in future videos. I'd love to hear from you. A lot of the topics I do cover have come from suggestions from you, so don't be shy, drop us a line below this video. If you like this video, then hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And of course, hit the all-important notification bell button so YouTube will tell you when I've released a new video, which is every single week. This is Simon Candy from acousticguitarlessonsonline.net. As always, thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope it's helped. I really do appreciate you taking the time to do so, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.